Aloha and welcome. I have a last minute video here that I wanted to put up. I received an email from a student last night, past midnight, asking about the resume assignment. And it hadn't occurred to me that we have a number of foreign students in here that may or may not be used to the American style of resumes. I know that in Japanese it's a bit different with the Dideksho, so I figured I'd go ahead and give you an example. I'll use my actual resume here with a couple sections blacked out, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm looking for. In general, a bit of advice for you. Number one is you always want to write a resume that's tailored to the specific job that you're looking at. So as you go through life, you're going to accumulate a lot of experience in a lot of different things. Some of those things will be pertinent to the job that you're looking at. It will be, information that your employer may want to know. So you may want to include that. So, for example, I've done a lot of work in networking, in programming, in development, things like that. But if I'm applying for a networking job, the things that are important from my resume really are the networking aspects. If you have jobs that just tangentially touch on networking, sure, you can include that, but you really want to focus and tailor your resume to your strengths for that job. So you often have a resume for every different job that you apply for. So I'll give you an example. Yes, that takes time. I usually spend about 2 hours or so on a resume and a cover letter, actually more time on the cover letter, getting ready for each job. Because remember, you're looking at a job that you're going to stay with for years. So you need to know a lot about that company. You're going to need to learn about them. Then you're going to have to, match your resume to, what they are all about and what they're looking for. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So here is the desktop over here. So what I'll start with is just the assignment. So when we look at number 2, the assignment, you'll see that I'm looking for a document format. Just save it as, we've got Word, save it as a doc file, that's fine. And then in your resume, you should include all the requirements that you'd normally have, which would be contact information, work history, education history, and one more thing, reference that you have knowledge and or have experience using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Microsoft Access. Yes, we're working on Word and Excel right now. We will work on PowerPoint and Microsoft Access. So get yourself ready for the future and put that in there as well. So what we'll do now is I will pull up my resume. So let me see here. So this is the general outline of what I want you to work with. So when I talk about like doing name, I'd put in John Johnson, something like that. And then I'd put in my address here, like 1212 Wherever Avenue, and say Honolulu, Hawaii 96811. And you take that, and what I want you to do is stylize this. And you can do something like you can take this, you can center it, you can bold it perhaps. Really for something like this, what I want you to do is I want you to use the techniques that we've been learning in Microsoft, for doing different things. But what I want you to do, you can look out there at resumes that already exist. And I'll show you the one that I used to have, or the one that I most recently used for this job that I'm teaching here. So the one that I had my name across the top, and no laughing at that, but I bolded this, and then below it, I have my address, and I also have my email address down here. And the first thing you put is a couple sentences to describe yourself. So this is where you describe, what you consider yourself and what you're, in a job role, what you're doing. So I had accomplished technology professional with broad experience in both system administration and software development, passionate educator with a desire to leverage international professional IT background to help students with diverse cultural, academic, and professional experiences to advance their IT career goals, skillful written and oral communicator with an attention to detail, able to communicate in both English and Japanese effectively on complex technical projects. So then for the certifications, so again, I'm applying in this resume for uh, the job as lecturer. If I was doing it for the job of a developer, I would not be putting in the education-based things. But here I'm looking at the education, so I'm specifically adding that in here. So to that end, I have my certifications in here, like Salesforce Certified Administrator, Salesforce Certified Business Analyst, the CompTIA Security Plus, Network Plus, the MCSE. So you would list your certifications. And then for work experience, you'd put down your work experience. So for work experience, you'd have like the job that you're doing and the different things you taught, and then one bullet line per thing that you want to discuss. So you go through and you do it pretty much that way. And often they'll have you put in your number of hours a week and things like that as you go through it. So you do that one per job, and then you get down to the end, and then you'd have, oh, there's the other experience stuff that was addition. Then you have your education. So you would list the universities that you went to, foreign study, if you've done foreign study. You'd have all of that in there as well. And then for programming, I have like programming languages listed, languages that I've worked with in the past. And as you go along, you'll forget, languages that you've learned and used, but I just try to keep a list of most of them in here. Then libraries that I've worked with, core technologies, databases, and the volunteer work that I've done. Sometimes they'll ask for resume, for references, and you can put your references like person, relation to you, and their phone number. Sometimes you'll give that to them if they may ask for that separately. But these are the things to remember. For a student, this is going to be a little bit different. If you're a student just starting out, you're not going to have the work history that I do. I've been in industry for 30 years, so I've got an accumulation of history here. So for a student, let me see if I can find my student one from a long time ago. So here's where mine. So I was looking to have a internship. So I put in my objective was to get a summer internship position that would allow me to combine my interest in computer science and Asian studies while providing me with practical experience and insight into postgraduate career options. So that's the objective. That's what I'm looking for. And then my experience, I had the experience I had. So student programmer, I was a student programmer. You can list your part-time jobs in here, particularly list those jobs if they have skills in there that you're going to be applying to the job that you're applying for. That's the important thing. So I had things like my ICS graduate teaching assistantship, Japanese teaching assistantship from back in undergrad. Let's see, summer job type of thing where I was working as a computer programmer, then summer research fellowships and computer science lab assistant. So yeah, these were back in the Stone Ages, back when minimum wage was $3.20 an hour. So yeah, go think about that. But back then, because I'm just starting out, I don't have a lot of work experience. These are part-time jobs, and they're going to see that and they're going to understand that. But they understand that you're a student just starting out, so they expect this kind of thing. And then for hardware experience, back again, this is in the dark ages. So my, the mainframe and workstations that I used back then the software that I'd worked with. And this is where you're going to be using remember we've asked you to put in like Microsoft Office, Excel, PowerPoint, things like that. So that's where you're going to be putting in your software experience. You're not going to, programming languages, if you've got them, fine. But if not, don't worry about this. And then education, put in your education section. If you're in a graduate situation or undergraduate, you can put all that there. You'll have your university location, you don't need a street address, just like the city and state. Then the degree you're working on, if it's your associates, you'd put that in there, your intended graduation date. GPA, if it's good. If it's not that great, you can leave that out. And yeah, you just want to put your history in there, what you can. So then if you've got scholarships or anything like that, they like to see that. So put, scholarships, whatever you got in there. And then college, I really didn't name this properly. It should have been college activities. So if you're in different clubs or groups and things like that, just put that down as well. So yeah, so you can list that. And then personal, if you've got hobbies and things like that, you can list those as well. So these are the types of things that you would have on a resume 30 years ago. And that's what this is. This is a resume from 30 something years ago. But I think that for somebody in college, it's should be something similar to this, maybe a little bit different formatting. You can always do a search on the internet for different resume styles. Because different fields have different ones. If you're looking to get something in travel industry management versus computer science, the things that you're going to be talking about are going to be different. So do look up some sample resumes out there. You can just type in sample resume for software engineer, and there are going to be a lot of different styles. And even within different areas of software design, you can have different styles of resume, and that's fine. But just go ahead and do that. And usually we have somebody in in the career development department that can help you out with refining your resume. So yeah, so if you need any help with that, let me know, and I'll try to get you put in touch with the proper resources at KCC as well. But anyhow, what I want you to do and what your assignment is, because remember, part of this is to get your resume put together somewhat, to plan you for the future. But the other part is to actually apply the lessons you've learned here with using Microsoft Word. So I want you to go ahead and get your information out there, work on your formatting of the document, put in your, do different text styles, also change your font, your default font and everything. But go ahead and work on the formatting, maybe some underlining, some italics, some boldface, things like that. That's the purpose of it, to stylize it using the techniques that you've learned while studying the Microsoft Word material here. Okay, so that is it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Yeah, good luck.